I'm 16 years old, lying in my bed, staring up at the wood-paneled ceiling. The year is 1998, and we have just moved to Lancaster, California, in the middle of the Mojave Desert, next to Edwards Air Force Base. No, I feel completely, utterly alone. I'm pretty sure that there is something horrifically broken inside of me, and I can't figure out how to fix it. I can't stop listening to my favorite Broadway musical, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And I keep wondering, when am I going to find my other half? When am I going to feel whole? Because at age 16, I was a girl. I loved musical theater, dancing, singing, so my friends used to joke that I was a gay man trapped in a woman's body. LOL. And it was around this time that I started to fear that maybe this wasn't a joke at all. What if I actually was a gay man trapped in a woman's body? What am I supposed to do with that? Then a few years later, I met my first transgender friend, and everything clicked into place. This actually wasn't the end of the world. It was just the start of a new one. And this was really good news because it meant that there was a word for this thing that I always knew to be true about me. And I could set that inner gay man free. I could transition. Most importantly, I could be happy. And that's what I did. I started taking testosterone, which, thanks. So I started taking testosterone, which made me look like I do today, like every other gay man in Seattle. And my body finally started to feel like a place that I could live in, a place that almost felt like home. And I got to join the trans community, where I found some belonging that I sorely needed. But when I told my parents that I was planning to transition and that I had actually already started, they were devastated. Not for religious or cultural reasons, we're Canadian, but because they were worried that it was going to be a harder path for me, which is like, where's the lie, you know? It's a harder path, being transgender. But of course I wasn't choosing to be transgender. The choice I was making was either to be transgender and stay alive, or to not be alive anymore. So I chose to stay alive and be trans. But when I told my mother, she said, "Oh, sweetheart, who will ever love you?" And she was not trying to be mean. She had just never seen a transgender person be loved. And neither had I. And then as I tried to navigate dating gay men as a transgender man, I started to think maybe it wasn't going to happen for me. I threw myself into my work. I traveled the country working on trans rights. I started doing trans education with companies all over. And my new joke became that the queer revolution was my boyfriend. But I was also worried that that joke would turn out to be true as well. What if I was fighting for the right to be trans when the life I was fighting for wasn't worth living? Because what is life without love? Anyway, I needn't have worried, because one day I went to a queer brunch and there he was, the person I'd been waiting for, and suddenly, finally, I was home. I know that RuPaul says that if you don't love yourself, like you can't love somebody else, but I have not found that to be true. I have actually found the opposite to be true. It was in loving somebody else that I was able to really be comfortable with who I am and to fall in love with who I am. Because I found someone that I trusted who was super smart, who thought that I was awesome. So I was like, maybe he's onto something. Do you know what I mean? And we built a home. and things were really easy. But this person that I had fallen in love with had a sister who could not take care of her very young children, Haley and Riley. So one day we got a phone call asking if they could come and live with us for a little while. Well, we were two gay men living in our 20s in Los Angeles, so of course we said yes. Why not? Wasn't a question, it was hardly even a discussion. Yes, yes, yes. We had a home, they needed one. Yes. And a little while became a long while, became forever. And in 2015, we adopted Haley and Riley as our own children. And just a few months later, I went to my partner and I asked him if we could use the body parts that we had been given to make a baby of our own. And he said yes. And we told our story publicly, and I became the pregnant man. Do the kids still say viral? Things go viral? Yes, thank you. If they do, that's what happened. We went viral. Millions of people all over the world saw our story. And if somewhere out there was a 16-year-old kid lying in their bed wondering if anyone would ever love them for who they truly are, we think we might have reached them. You belong here. I wonder what it really means to belong or to fit in. For me, it meant love and a family and a home. But I think what it really means is to just take the broken shards of glass that you've been given and cobble them together to make a mosaic, something that is more beautiful than was there before. Because that is what queer people have always done. If a door is closed to us, we break it down or we build a new house. If we hate our bodies, we fight to accept them, or we change them until we can love them. If our families don't know how to take care of us, we teach them, or we build our own. And I still love musical theater, but I am not 16 anymore. So I know that there is not actually any such thing as your other half, right? We are all, each of us, complete and whole. But I also think we can be more than whole. We can be beautiful. And when we find that place where we fit in, whether it is romantic or community love, whether it is home or work, whether it is friends or family, we can all take those broken shards of glass that we've been given and we can cobble them together and we can make something perfect. Thank you.